Hi, I'm Symphonious. Some of you know me as Symphonious7, because I had to put a 7 at the end of my name, because somebody was already named Symphonious on YouTube. It was just going to be Symph. That was taken too. So I put Onius on the end, and a 7. But you're not watching my main channel, Symphonious7. You're watching my controversy channel, Symph Controversy. I'm terrified of having this channel up. The reason being, I am a Christian. I believe my Christian beliefs very deeply. I don't believe them because I was brought up that way. I don't believe them because I read them in a book. Well, reading the Bible made a huge impact on me. That's not why I believe them. I believe them because they actually make sense to me. And because my logical mind comes to no other conclusion than Christianity. However, this is so good. This is an iced latte with caramel in it, the same caramel from Starbucks, and I put it all in there. And I made it in an espresso machine that I have upstairs. The reason I'm so nervous is because my beliefs are going to be offensive to Christians and non-Christians. What I believe is not what atheists believe, it's not what people of other faiths believe, and it's not what the traditional normal Christians believe. And I mean the most common types of Christians. I don't believe everyone is going to hell, and if they don't accept Jesus in their heart, well, I don't believe that they have to know the name of Jesus and accept him, accept the facts of what happened 2,000 years ago to be saved. I think there are many people who have accepted Jesus into their heart and just don't know it. Because, quite frankly, when you deny Jesus in this day and age, are you really denying Jesus? Are you really denying the person Jesus? Or are you denying how he's been presented to you? That's what you're denying. You're not denying actual Jesus. You don't know actual Jesus. You haven't seen him in the flesh. You're denying what other people have told you about him and how you've seen him represented on this earth. That's not denying Jesus. And well, I don't want to get into all of it just yet. I don't. I want to shout out my new friend. I do consider him a friend. Consider him a good guy. His name is CheekyVim208. CheekyVim208. And he likes to get into debates with Christians. However, he doesn't get into these debates with the intent of slandering and demeaning and shaking the foundational walls of belief of these Christians. He gets into this debate because he's seriously asking questions. He legitimately wants to know, and he legitimately wants to have a civil debate. He might, I'm sure he is trying, hoping that you might see his point of view, but he's also willing to see your point of view. I love atheists like that. You guys are a credit to your, I would say faith, but lack of faith. So people like CheekyVim2, I really respect a lot. Well, this channel's gonna get pretty controversial, hence the name. Pretty obvious, huh? I guess I could have gone with something kind of ironic, or I don't know. I just not right now. But this is what I want to say about Cheeky Vim2's. I'm turning off Skype. This is what I want to say about Cheeky Vim2's video that he did about skeptical Christians. He was saying, well, I'll say it to you, Mr. Cheeky Sir. Which I don't know why you called yourself that. I don't find you cheeky at all. You're very straightforward. I don't know. Maybe it means something different in the UK. You were saying that why do Christians not, are they not skeptical of soothsayers? And they believe that psychics are good and okay because it proves God or something. Is that how it is in England? That's not how it is here, man. Here, usually Christians either don't believe in the supernatural very much at all, and they think that God quit doing supernatural things years ago, so they just think that they're all scam artists, or they heavily believe in the supernatural, and they believe those people are demon-possessed. I think that usually they're scam artists, and I think that sometimes there is some demonic influence involved. I do. I believe in witchcraft, I believe in the occult, I believe that just like you can get power from God, you can get power from Satan. I totally believe this. But I think usually they're scam artists, especially when you see them setting up shop somewhere and they're taking money and doing tarot cards and all that stuff. I think you're going to find a lot more soothsayers that are actually demonic and actually witches in places like Africa and places like that. I guess since we're gonna do this, and we're gonna get into it, and no matter how much hate I get, I should do it anyway. I'm so scared that people are just gonna start unsubscribing from my main channel left and right. I'm so afraid that letting this out is going to just cause a huge storm of hate. And I'm afraid I'm going to get tons of Christians who are telling me I'm blasphemous. And they'll pray for me. I'm just going to say this, Mr. Cheeky. I don't think you're going to hell, man. I don't think you're going to hell. I don't think you'd go to hell if you died today. I don't think that God may put human salvation in the hands of other humans. That'd be pretty ungodlike for him to do. Because humans, dude, the way that we try to evangelize is handing out pamphlets, bothering people on the streets, telling them they're going to hell, and if they don't say these words, do you really think your salvation depends on what you believe about an event that happened 2,000 years ago, believe about a controversial thing that people have so many different opinions on, and accepting into your heart this Jesus person who you can't even fathom and you don't actually know. You're just hearing about him from other people, which means that your opinion of him is influenced by those people, and now you're supposed to accept him into your heart when everybody's perception of him is different. And you think that decides whether or not someone goes to heaven or goes to hell. Whether or not they're tormented for forever. Of course, I don't believe in the tormented for forever thing. But whether or not they are punished or whether or not they are rewarded for eternity. You think that rides on what somebody decides about an event that there are so many different opinions on that they weren't there to witness and they don't actually. Doesn't sound like a very nice God who would make people's eternal fate rest on that, does it? Now, I'm not just asking questions here. I've got very detailed opinions. as to what I believe the Bible is really saying and how it differs from the modern interpretation. But I will just say this. I believe you can accept Jesus without having to know you're accepting Jesus. I believe Jesus speaks to everyone. I believe he is the love inside of you. And I believe that the more that you let that love grow, and the more that you let that love lead you, I believe that you are walking with Jesus, whether you know it or not. Tolerant people, people who are good to others and try to do their best, I think they're walking with Jesus, know it or not. And that is why, because you are such a respectful, good person, as far as I can see, Mr. Cheeky Ventu, because I see that you have the capacity to love, and I believe that if Jesus stood before you in the flesh, and you saw what he was like, and you talked with him, and you experienced how loving and kind he was, I don't think you would turn him down for a second. I think you would be very, very into him, because you're into honesty, you're into people being good to each other and respectful of each other, and Jesus embodies all those things to a degree that no human can. So, yeah, you're having trouble believing right now, because you don't think you have enough proof. Valid. And as far as what you were saying about Christians being skeptical, dude, I could not agree more. Christians need to be more skeptical. And Christians need to ask more questions. And Christians need to decide if they really believe it or if they don't. Because a lot of them believe it just because they're scared of what it might mean if they say they don't. They're afraid of hell. They're afraid of being kicked out of the church and being excommunicated, so they won't dare say they don't believe in Jesus, but they don't know that they really do. They probably are inside questioning and tormenting themselves because they can't answer a lot of questions and a lot of things don't make sense to them, but they just go with it anyway because they're afraid of what would happen if they don't. And that's why you don't get a lot of logical debate out of them. That's what's bothering you so much, because you're not getting logic out of them. But you gotta understand, man, they're literally afraid that if they were to give in to any of your rebuttals to their faith, that they would be committing blasphemy and that they would be punished for it. That kind of fear, you can't reason with it. It's like survival. So please try to show a little sympathy to them and understand that they don't mean to be illogical. They don't mean to, whatever, but for you, this isn't a debate that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You don't believe God exists. You don't believe any of that, whatever. So you have no fear of being wrong. It doesn't matter to you. Well, that may not be true. You may be scared of the idea that Christianity is true. But, it's just for them, they fully believe that if they give in to you, they may go to hell and may be punished. And that is why you're running into people who have a lack of logical debate with you. Feel free to ask me any questions. I won't answer all of them, because some of them I'm not fit to. But some of them I am. Well, I believe that I am. I can't say whether I am or not, but a lot of, just, if you want to pick my brain, man. I'll tell you my views on the Bible. Have a good one, dude. I support you. I think you're a good guy. And anybody who watches this video, this channel has like no subscribers right now, but anybody who does, go subscribe to Cheeky Vim208. I think he's a cool dude. He makes music. I haven't even checked it out yet. I'm going to check it out. I'll get back to you. Have a good one, sir.